I was on the train going to Girona. I was going to put my play on in the festival, which they had every autumn. I was looking forward to, at least to the part about the festival, that's for sure. I got off the train and walked across to where the main street begins, going to Barcelona. And my life changed within 9 seconds. I turned round to cross, and coming towards me from another side of the station was Jose. We hadn't seen each other for some time. We had decided to split. We shook hands. I think we even kind of hugged, or that was the end. And I hadn't seen him for quite a while. Here comes this man towards me, Mediterranean, looks like a lot of Mediterranean men. Walks quite solidly, feet on the ground. Jose had a lovely expression. If it was Jose, it was a really beautiful, smiling expression of positivity. But then he loved life. And then I turned away because I couldn't bear the disappointment. I couldn't bear to know this wasn't him at all. Funnily enough, as he came so much closer to me, he kind of became Jose. It's the only way I could say it, really. His expression, the smile, the love of life, it just came together of its own. And he laughed and I laughed. I think we did. He said, I knew I would one day see you again. Salvador Dali, the artist, invited me back to Girona, to Catalonia, to sit for him as an artist model. I was married to Michael Chaplin and I had 2 children, 1 a baby. And I worked mainly writing, but some modelling. And I'd come out of the drama school, the Royal Academy in London, and I occasionally did plays. I wanted to get back to London quickly. I missed my children, I missed Michael. I had a life. I wanted that life. I wanted to keep it, make it good. I had checked before leaving that Jose was not around in the area. And no one had seen him for a long time. So I felt quite okay about being there, but there was this feeling that this was over now. This was the past. If I had to describe it, yes, it was a memory of a time gone by, which was special. The taxi driver said, do you want to go by the coast route or on the fast motorway? And I said, let's go on the coast route. It's very hot. We came to a village, Calella, on the way to Barcelona. There's no one there. They were all inside. There wasn't even a cat on the street. And then one of the wheels, it sort of burst. Big explosion almost. The car swerved. I got out. He said it was a puncture. He'd have to change the tyre. He felt into the wheel and he said, no, there's a bit more to it. And he pulled out a stone. And for some reason, I remembered Jose Torres always told me that stones, black stones, were lucky for me. And he used to give me a black stone. If we were on the beach, he would give me a black pebble. And I would hold it, and after a while I'd let it go. And he would go down quickly and get it back and give it to me and say, don't throw your luck away. And for some reason, there and then, with the wheel broken, I remembered the stone story and how lucky it was. And when the stone came out from the wheel, it was a black stone. And I thought, well, that's a reminder of the past, but just coincidence. The driver said, we'll get there, but go and stand over in the shade. There's a street over there. Go over there. I'll go as quick as I can with the wheel. I crossed the street, boiling hot, no one around. Just one man leaning against the wall in the narrow, shadowed street. He looked at me, I looked at him. Marriage over. No luck that day. When I got back to London, I questioned what actually had happened or caused what happened. Was it destiny? Was it on a higher level divinity? Was it just random chance? Was it coincidence? I remember that Jose said, you can never lose what really belongs to you.
The meeting with Jose did seem amazingly fortuitous, and this was a very significant moment in your life, which led to the unfolding of many more events, which you described in your books. And what was entirely unexpected was that our journeys to make the film held a strange echo of the original event involving Jose. On 2 separate journeys on our way back from Spain, driving into France together, we suffered 2 more punctures, different cars, but to the same back left wheel on both. Do you link this with what happened years ago when meeting Jose again?
It seemed to me that having a tyre collapse 3 times and stop me going away from Girona was strange. Is it a coincidence? That's what I didn't know. Or could it be on a higher level? Could it be destiny? Synchronicity, maybe. A mistake. Divinity, fate, coincidence, chance, random. Are some events determined? Who runs the show? I thought about Jose and how he was there the first time with the first puncture, which was 40 years ago, and how was he standing there in the middle of the shade of that particular street, the only person who seemed to be out in that heat in that small village on the way to the airport. Well, how had he got there? I got there because of a puncture, same as I got into other places that changed my life, seemingly, when leaving Girona. I don't know who runs the show.
Yes, I was also thinking about who runs the show. It really was a profound experience for you and did change your life and took it in a wholly new direction. So it's clearly something that resonated very deeply within you. And it does seem that when these events occur, they often invoke these deeper levels in us. I remember when the punctures happened on both trips, I thought the main thing was to deal with the situation. We had to cope with the puncture, we had to find a garage. So I didn't immediately respond to the coincidence. And often it's in retrospect that you start to think about these things. And then I realized it was really very striking that this has happened twice on different journeys, different cars, but under similar circumstances. This was remarkable. And then you recalled the episode which you described in the book, The City of Secrets, and in our film, Girona the Immortal, story of the Black Stone, of the change in destiny when you met up again with Jose. And this was a puncture. It was almost like revealing some kind of connection, like that of a fairy tale or a folk tale. The symbolism of a black stone. It's hidden, it's mysterious, it's to do with change. And then there's the fact that the number 3 in fairy tales and folk tales, you often have this 3 symbolism. Think of Goldilocks and the 3 bears, or a genie who will grant 3 wishes. It's a very powerful symbolic number. And this also recalls the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Gustav Jung, who created his own Jungian therapy and coined the term synchronicity.
Thank you, Jeffrey. That was really good, especially bringing in synchronicity and Jung. I feel they fit, certainly, those 2 subjects with Girona. I think it's a place which lends itself to all of those already mentioned: random choice, destiny, God's will, who runs the show, all the things we've been working on in the film doc, which is Girona the Immortal. And I think we've got to get together and talk about these again and why they're so specially in that place, more so than in others.